Hello everyone and welcome back to Life with the Moons, another Magical Moon video. Toby and I are on the tools today. Jenny is editing for the other channel, which is At Home with the Moons, so you can go and check that out. Jenny will put a link in the description. But we've got to be changing the horses over because yesterday was the hottest day of the year so far, and it's due to be equally as hot today. So we've got to get all the legends in the barn, and they're the ones that are out at night because it's very, very cool here. We've got those beautiful evenings into the night times and it's perfect. They don't get bothered by the flies. But we do have a new patient, and that is in the form of Ginger. And she cut herself the other day and we had the vet out and she cleaned it and she treated it, and she's given us antibiotics and she's given us diuretic, and we have to keep it as clean as we possibly can. And while she was here, she was talking about the other patient and just asking how Magic was getting on. And Magic is still getting his treatment, but he's getting near the end of it, and we've booked in for early in June for another scope. So fingers crossed he's made an improvement, because we're really looking forward to the results. And yeah, we wait with bated breath, but he is taking those little steps. But he is quite awkward to feed. He's never really had a feisty appetite, and Jenny's been cutting up little bits of apple and carrots just to keep him interested, just to keep him nourished. And as I say, yeah, we're keeping everything crossed. So Toby and I are on the video today. Toby's going to be filming, and we're going to be getting the horses in and changing them all around and doing the yard duties. We've got to go off and get supplies, and then we've got to do a bit of land management. So enjoy the journey and we'll see you very soon. So we're starting from the top of the drive. Well, there's one more a little bit further up, and that's Cantho. But as we get them in, I'm just gathering up the feed buckets. And these are an extension of their stables, and Max has got this beautiful front field. It's the one we first created for the BFG, and it's got all-round shade. It really, really is a good place to be. And he's got that cushions as well, so he doesn't want to get too much grass. And what we do, I've got the hay net. We'll give him a hay net just so he's got something to munch on, and then it's a case of getting round, giving them all water in the fields, and then we've got to do a bit of land management. So let's carry on with the others. So on the way back to putting Ginger in her stable, it's really, really important to clean the wound, but more importantly to try and reduce a little bit of that residual swelling. And there is nothing better than the old cold hose. We do about 20 minutes in the morning and 20 at night, and she has those local treatments. She's also on a diuretic and she's on antibiotics, and we're just keeping an eye on her temperature, but fingers crossed we're making those steps in the right direction. So the next one in, the lovely Captain Jack Sparrow, and he's moved rooms because we've moved Sweet Pea up to the top, and that's in preparation for the new arrival. We're not sure when that is, but Jack's down in the Legends barn and he's really settling in. I think he wants to be ruler of all the Legends, but he's beside Staz and all seems to be well, so it's a good turnaround. What we do when we're on this rota is we get all the stables ready very, very early, and then Jenny prepares all their feeds. So as they come in, they've got their water and they've got their feeds, and then Toby is the hay net king and he goes round and makes sure they've all got hay. And I really like it this way around because it is so comfortable here in the day, and at night it's that beautiful cool evenings and into the night where they can go out and they're not hassled by the flies, and it's really, really good for them. And as they get older, as we said before, they do struggle with regulating their temperature, and we've got the fans in the barn here if it does hot up, but it's a noticeable difference. It's so much cooler in here than what it is outside. Let's go and get another one. We're getting there now. One of the last horses is Cantho, and he's on his way in, and then we've just got to get the donkeys in, and then it's going to be down to the fields to get Charlotte and Grace. There's always an exception to the rule, and Magic is definitely that. He goes out and he just has a little leg stretch in the morning, then he comes back in. And because he's on that medication, it's now time to give him his first batch. And that is the antacid, which lines his esophagus and into his tummy. And it complements the other. It's an omeprazole-based product, the other one, which is more of a thicker paste. It's a lot higher powered. But this one I give him now, as I say, just lines both the esophagus and his tummy, and he's quite a good patient. I think he knows it's helping him. So let's go and get it ready. Everyone's in, and as you can see, Grace is tucking into her breakfast with Charlotte behind. But there's no rest for us. We've got to go now and get some supplies from the feed shop. So let's go. We're back here again. We're at our most frequented shop. It is the supply store for everything horsey. And they do all the fencing products and all the other little bits, but more importantly they do the feed and the bedding. And this is our first stop. It is the senior fibre mix. Kind of goes without saying what it's for, but it's a broad mix. It has all those grasses and everything that's really good for those digestions of the oldies. And now we're going to go and get the green nuts and the pulp. All the horses have that porridgey mix of the green nuts and the sugar beet, but this is another really useful product called Long Life, and that's what it's for. It really helps the older horses, but it's very palatable because you add a little bit of water. Grace and Charlotte, Ginger and little Captain Jack have it, and they love it, but they all have those individual meals. So along with the porridgey mix, we've got the fibre mix, which is that senior mix which I showed you, and now we're going to go and get the chaff which goes with that. This is called Horse Pack, and it's a molassed chaff. It has lots of other little feed elements in it, but it goes really well with that senior mix we spoke about. And it is like having lots of different menus, but what we need to do is adjust it for the horses at different times of the year. So when the grass is coming through as well as it is now, we can cut back on certain bits, and that's where Jenny's fantastic. She knows just what to do and when to do it. Let's get it in the cart. We're getting near the last jobs, and one of those last jobs is an essential bit of land maintenance. It's actually very good horse husbandry, but we need to do it. These are an extension of the horses' stables, and they need to be clean. And what comes with horses is the other side, and that's what we're going to attend to now. And with all the horses here, we're so fortunate now that we've got even more of these little paddocks, because we can rotate them round and they can have the grass, what they need when they need it. And they're all so individual. And Max, for example, he doesn't need a lot of grass, but where we can rest a paddock, a horse that does, we can put them on there. So it just gives us that flexibility. So let's get on with it. So that's it, it's the end of another shift. Well, it's the end of the first part, because then we've got to do it all over again, but we wouldn't have it any other way. And a big thank you to Toby for being cameraman today. It is very much a family affair here and we all pitch in. As Toby's been helping me, Jenny's been editing the video for the other channel at Home with the Moons, and that's gone out, so you can check that out. And a massive thank you, of course, to you guys for watching, for liking, subscribing, just spreading the word and helping give these horses the voice that they deserve. And of course, to our lovely patrons. Now, it's time to go and get some lunch and cool off. And on that note, stay magical and we'll see you very soon.